Parents, have you ever had your child struggle with attitude on getting their schoolwork done? Why am I smiling when I say that? Of course we all have. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. And today I'm talking about attitude around your child's schoolwork. So we're going to talk about several different things. I have friends whose children just started school today at the local public schools and private schools. As many of you know, I homeschool, and so I have lots of homeschooling friends as well. And from time to time, I will read their posts or hear their comments in person around their child's attitude. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that we have tried to help improve our child's or our children's attitudes. So that doesn't mean that it's a perfect day every day. I don't know why, but some people assume that you're now homeschooling to, solve some other problem over here. So therefore, you're never going to have a bad day again. And that's just not the case. We all have bad days, no matter what kind of job we're in or what kind of school we go to. So that's the first point, is just to realize that if it hasn't happened yet, you will have some sort of bad day. So with attitude, one of the first things that I would like to say is to notice and build a routine. When I say routine, I don't mean that it has to be every second scheduled throughout the day and every day has to be alike. What I mean when I say routine is that your child knows that this is just what we do. It's kind of like some of you guys have routines about your children making their bed, or your children putting their shoes in a special closet or a special shoe basket. That's just what you do. It's a routine, and it's a pattern that you have built. If your child knows that no matter what, they have to read today, and maybe their reading time is around the same time every day, maybe right before lunch or right after lunch, they know it's going to happen every day no matter what. It takes a little bit of the fight out. And so stick with your routine. Try not to get too lazy with things. I know for myself, when things start getting busy with some of my part-time work that I'm doing, I can let things fall by the wayside with my children's school, and they get out of a bad routine. Screen time is one of those other points that I'd like to talk about. So number 2 is just watch how much screen time your children are getting. Even if it's good and wholesome things that they are watching, I notice that when my children have more screen time, their attitude is so much worse. So when you're having a bad day with your child, arguing with you about not wanting to do something with their school, ask yourself, what has happened earlier that day or in previous days? Have they had a lot of screen time? Another thing to consider when talking about your child's attitude is to sometimes keep things lighthearted. So you may want to take a brain break. That may be you take a break, go out for a walk, give your children some time to go outside and play. Another area of taking things lightheartedly is to tell a joke or show your children a funny video. When I can tell that my oldest child is kind of spiraling downhill with his attitude, I might say something funny just to kind of make him giggle, and then we laugh together, and then it's like medicine. You hear that phrase, laughter is medicine, right? It's really, or it's magic. It's amazing how that can turn the attitude around. Now, we all have our different personalities. Some of you may try to do that with your child, and it may, enrage them more. So you got to kind of try to see what fits with each child. But it's okay to take a short break. This afternoon, it was getting kind of like that sleepy time of the day, and the sun's coming through the window, and you've been sitting a long time because your child needs you to sit beside them and they're not getting anything done. And my son looked over at me and he said, "I'm getting really tired. I think I need to go outside for a while." I could have chosen to sit there and say, "No, you're not. You're going to finish all of these." But I've kind of learned through the years that it's kind of best to just kind of go on and do that and take a break. There are times to push through. But I knew that he hadn't been outside yet today. And I hadn't done my walking either. So we decided to put everything down. Dad was working from home today, so I let him know that the other two children were playing to keep an ear out for them. And we went for a walk, and we walked 30 minutes. Talking. Sometimes we'd say, let's jog until we get down to that stop sign. And so what does that do? Well, we know that the exercise will help with his endorphins, getting out in the sunlight and having some vitamin D. All of that stuff is going to help with his attitude. And we came back in, and then he got more problems done on his math. So that worked for us. So what do you think are some ideas that you can try that maybe you haven't yet that might help improve your child's attitude with their work? Another idea is to kind of gradually introduce things. So this is something we do every year when we start our first day of school. I try to add in some special things like special lunch, special breakfast, new folders, or something like that that's unique. However, we may not try to fit in all subjects at one time. We gradually introduce things. It's okay not to do every subject every single day. So let's think back to college schedules. Remember, you have like Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. Tuesday, Thursday classes are a little bit longer. That's fine. Now, there are some things that I'm like, yeah, we're going to do that every day. Okay? We're going to read every day. We're going to do math every day. We're going to write some things down every day. Okay? Those are a given because children can regress a lot more when they don't have those things in the early years as frequently. But like things like science and social studies, you can go back and forth on those in elementary school and just gradually introduce them to the different subjects that you're going to do. So your first week of school, you may only do 2 or 3 things every day. And then you just keep reminding them, now, next week, we've got to add this back on so it doesn't hit them by surprise when next week comes and you add on something else. That's completely okay. So leave your comments down below if you have anything to share. I just made this video on the fly. I needed to find a quiet spot in my house, so we went out to the extra room. I'd love to have your ideas. You can send me some ideas by email to Rebecca@theparentteacherbridge.com. And if you get on my email list, I'll leave a link below, you will get a free guide, 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader. Even if you don't need this, but you want to be on my email list, you can go ahead and fill that out and you can get on my email list there. I'll leave a link below to my link tree as well. You can get some other free items that I've made. And just to let you know, this week, my email subscribers will have access, if they so choose, to my Busy Mom's Guide to Teaching Your Child How to Read. If that sounds interesting to you, if your child knows their ABCs and you still haven't gotten around to teaching them how to read, you're going to want to check that out. I will leave a link below to get on my email list, but you have to be on my email list to get this deal. This week is my launch week, and I'm selling it for the least it's ever going to be available. And as an added bonus, you will get a couple of their mini courses as well that can help you with ABCs and sight words. So be sure to check that out. Remember, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.